Welcome back to a deeper dive, where we take a closer look at things on the internet. Today we have a very interesting topic. Despite the number of communication methods out there, the internet is the most used communication method besides the phone. It's faster, easy to understand, and more accessible for everyone. Is it as perfect as it seems? How did we get here? Let's find out. I would start at the beginning of the 80s with early web and forums, but I've already made a video that goes more in depth on that topic. So if you want to watch that, there should be a card at the top right corner of your screen. I'll give a brief summary. It first started with the electronic mailing list, the first ever communication method on the internet. It was used to discuss any problems or issues with computers during that time. Fast forward, and these electronic mailing lists turned into forums, a more open way for people to communicate together, not just one-on-one. This was the peak of places like Usenet or Planet Forum, and forums continued to thrive until, well, I won't spoil it. Anyways, a new method of communication started to form: messengers, instant messengers, like the electronic mailing list, but a little more open and customizable. This is where we saw messengers like ICQ, one of the first, but not the first, to introduce to the public the idea of a messenger. Then shortly after, AIM released. AIM is iconic. There is no other way to put it. Every other messenger after it borrowed or copied its iconic formula. AOL, notorious for its slow loading times, released AIM in 1997, and it quickly gained popularity. By the latter end of the 90s, it was one of the most popular messengers around. It was friendlier than a forum, and more accessible to parents/teenagers everywhere. Not to mention that it was bundled with AOL, the most popular internet provider at the time, which practically made it destined to be the #1 messenger. So popular you may recognize this sound. Did you notice how I said it was one of the most popular and not the most? Well, as with anything in life, there will always be somebody trying to get in on something popular, and one of these people was Microsoft. MSN Messenger followed in the footsteps of AIM. It was practically the same thing, until they started releasing updates. These updates saw more personality and customization in MSN Messenger, and allowed it to stick out from AIM and the other competition. Some other notable messengers around this time were Powwow, Yahoo Messenger, ICQ, Lotus same time, and XMPP. Why is it like Now let's fast forward to the 2000s. AIM is still going strong, but MSN Messenger is fighting back, thanks in part due to the fact that it was bundled with Windows XP. AIM now has 195 million active users and a 52% control over the messenger market. Around this time, Xfire released. Xfire really isn't anything special, but I'm surprised many people haven't heard of it. It was the first of its kind, a messenger specifically for gamers. It had a multitude of features that would go on to later define messengers in the future, like the ability to livestream and host the game you were playing on. The only thing you really could do in messengers was change your profile picture and send emojis, but Xfire took it to another level. It would gain popularity slowly, but ultimately died out in the early 2010s. Unfortunate fate for a messenger that brought a lot to the table and deserves its flowers. A few months after Xfire was introduced to the public, Skype launched. Skype is notable for the fact that they prioritized calling instead of chatting. It quickly caught on, and was most used for gaming and casual conversations. You or your family could get together and hop on a video call and talk to each other, which truly was something special. Why eBay bought it for $2.5 billion. It was one of the most used applications on Windows, and all other operating systems for that matter. They had found something special and perfected it. Also notable around this time was Microsoft's rebranding of MSN Messenger. They changed the name to Windows Live Messenger, and changed the interface to be more modern and even more approachable to families and first-time computer owners. Microsoft Live Messenger would surpass AIM and take the throne as the most popular messenger, while messengers like Yahoo Messenger and AIM were starting to decline rapidly. We can't forget the sites of this era as well, like Twitter and Facebook. While they wouldn't be popular right away like AIM or MSN Messenger, they remained and lasted longer than both of them. Why? Well, they kind of revolutionized messengers completely. They turned the format around, and borrowed more so from forums. Think of them like a hybrid between the two. They allowed for the world to see what you had to say, not only your close friends and family. You can post real-time updates and game followers with these sites, arguably more interesting than a simple messenger. They also allowed for you to see updates on other people, whether it be celebrities or your best friend. It's not hard to see why Twitter is a new, more modern messenger. Towards the latter end of the 2000s, more modern messengers you would see today like WhatsApp and Telegram released, with the most appealing thing about these messengers being security. Both have an encrypted chat and promise not to give your data to anyone, which attracted the wrong crowd. I won't say what crowd it is because I'll probably get demonetized, but you know what crowd I'm talking about. Then in 2013, Discord launched and the rest is history. So, what can we learn from the messengers of today and the past? Are the modern messengers and sites as perfect as they seem? One thing I notice about modern messengers, despite all of the features, is how companies treat the software and the users. For example, Twitter. Despite the amount of dedication and perfection put into Twitter to be the mecca of all messenger/social sites, half the people hate it. It could be due to him, but I think it's due to the people he hired. They seem to be focused on bloating the site and adding meaningless features and removing key features which are driving users away. They have lost sight of Twitter's original goal and seem to be hell-bent on perfecting a site which many found perfect already. Because of this, I've already seen a mass amount of users switch over to Blue Sky, which seems to be basically a copy of the perfected Twitter, only with a few visual changes. We're also seeing this with Discord. The moderation team there seems to be focused on banning and harassing accounts for the smallest offenses, while people actually breaking the rules walk off without a scratch. Shall we continue using instant messengers? In my opinion, yes, but I'd like to see some progress and improvements on user experience first. They need to, in better words, value the customer. Which is strange because this was never an issue before. MSN Messenger didn't have horrible management, or any messenger pre-2010. The closest we truly got to perfection was Skype. Will we ever see it again? Probably not, but anything can happen. Thank you for watching the first installment of A Deeper Dive. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode-like style of content. I also want to thank you guys for the support on my last video. I don't really have anything else to say, but go watch my devlog, which should be out now. But other than that, have a good night, or when you're watching this.